Santolo Pace, welcome. The other videos that I put out this week go along, or this goes along with their content. So I wanted to share this with you. This is from Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist. I'm not sure that I have mentioned her work previously on my videos. And I love her work. So many of the things that she speaks on, and she's got a couple books, a workbook. I highly recommend you check her out. She's on, I think, YouTube or Instagram more prevalently than YouTube, but she's on YouTube as well. I have her books. Most of the things that I myself have worked on and I share here on my channel very much has to do with before I found the material that I share with you on here, other than the books that I am a big proponent of. There's 3 that I talk about, 3 or 4. 2 of them are from Eckhart Tolle and the other are from Vernon Howard, that were very transformative to me. But what I'm trying to say is everything that I worked through and what I utilized, the tools, were from what I learned from Wayne Dyer and Dr. Deepak Chopra. Course in Miracles, before the internet was around. And then I have since, ran across so much that is worth sharing, and I can see that for those on the journey can be so helpful as a tool. Thus, I share it. The Holistic Psychologist. This was a post. It'll be linked down below. Adult relationships are conditional. Right? We love unconditionally, but adult relationships are conditional. As adults, when we're appropriately raising and caregiving children, that love is unconditional. Adult relationships are conditional. I love how she says this. Certain conditions must be met. Relationships require people to both give and receive. They also require a level of emotional maturity and empathy. Not everyone is in an emotional space to give this. Not everyone. Sorry, I was going to read the same thing over. But I can remember when I wasn't in an emotional space to give that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I got into counseling. So I'm such a big proponent of personal responsibility. When it was pointed out and I could see it, and I worked with a professional psychologist. Again, if you listen to my work and you watch my videos, then you know that I had been diagnosed with a personality disorder, which is just really coping mechanisms gone awry. Behavior, patterns of behavior that come from out of trauma, childhood of dysfunction, abuse, neglect. Hurt people can choose to be self-healers and to reparent and to choose that emotional and psychological well-being so that they can offer themselves in conditional relationships with other adults. Not everyone is in an emotional space to give this. When we're aware that a relationship is causing us damage physically, emotionally, and spiritually, protecting ourselves is the healthiest thing we can do. We're not required to stay in any relationship with a person unconcerned with how they impact others. As a side note, I have been, probably myself included, in relationship with other adults that were so nice. Their behaviors, they did not realize, as I just said earlier, and they were not aware that they were unconcerned with how their behaviors impacted others. They weren't cognizant. So us, on the other end, when we see that they don't, I would, go into diagnostics. I would go into observation to the point where it didn't do me any good because I wasn't acknowledging, hey, I feel this way. Screw diagnosing this. I love you unconditionally. I love me unconditionally. I'm going to go self-care. I'm going to, just what she says here. This is why I share it. We're not required to stay in any relationship with a person unconcerned with how they impact others. Our culture forces a viewpoint that we are to be there for people unconditionally. This has left people in chronically stressful relationship situations that create illness, dysfunction, and trauma, and then cycles just repeat. We can love someone and recognize that we must remove ourselves because conditions have not been met. Adult relationships are conditional. They require effort, a level of consciousness and maturity, and a genuine care for the other person's well-being. When this isn't happening, the healthiest thing we can do is choose ourselves. Have you had to choose yourself and your own well-being? I have. Thank you so much. The link down below to Nicole's work will be there for you. I hope this has helped. Peace.